some way to benefit from this and the work that's been done over the past couple of years. So that's the idea. Okay. Now, as far as timeframes on that are concerned, that's probably going to go over for the next couple months. So I don't have a time frame yet on when the evaluation will be complete and when we will have exactly what options are available to us. But I do expect it in the next couple months. And as that coalesces, we will be bringing that news out to shareholders as fast as possible. Okay. DMEVS, and then back to 2023. DMEVS. So what is DMEVS's plan into the current markets? Well, right now, we just signed the contracts with the Holiday Inn in Vancouver and the Holiday Inn in Vancouver and parent company, and then we're expanding into Ontario. So what we're looking at here is continued expansion into these areas of the market, and we think there's great opportunity here in a lot of underserviced areas. What we're seeing is Canada announcing infrastructure plans, the U.S. announcing infrastructure plans, and we are definitely tapping into that and seeing how we can be part of these. But what we're also seeing here is there's large segments of the market that aren't being addressed. And this is transformative. And I don't know if a lot of people think about this or not. But it's these underperforming segments or these underutilized segments that nobody's thinking about that we think that there's a large opportunity here. What do I mean by that? These large infrastructure plans and stuff, everybody knows about the stops on the 401 or the different gas stations around, but what nobody thinks about these other areas of the market where this is not necessary, and actually for EVs where the most driving happens, right? So the vast majority of this is done within 30, 35 kilometers of your home or something like that, and you're usually going to the store, the mall, Costco, whatever you're doing. And these types of services are where we think that there's a lot of opportunity that nobody's really stepping up to the plate yet. And that's where we're going to go. And that's one of the other components that we're looking at. So you don't need the gas station infrastructure to be successful in here, right? You don't need trucks to haul gas to a gas station. You don't need containment units there. You don't need a special building. You don't need codes. None of that stuff has to be put in place. We already have electrical circuits all over the place. And where are people driving their cars? They're driving them in the places that we enumerated. So all the infrastructure pieces that are not massive, giant, interstates, auto routes, those pieces, that's 90% of the market. And that's where our tech really shines, right? So we have the ability to put places in, 1 for 5 as far as the chargers are concerned, so we can get more physical footprint into those areas. We also have the robots and other pieces that can be used in the tight spaces, accounts, etc. And so we will be targeting those, and in addition to the larger components and the larger programs that we're already targeting now. Now, the other thing that DMEVS is targeting that we put out, and that's more of a longer term piece, are the tax credits, right? So we haven't talked a whole lot about those, but we did make a press release about working with tax credit companies. And one of the key pieces of motivating for infrastructures is these carbon tax credits. Now, those are predicted to go up into the trillions of dollars, billions and trillions of dollars. As things progress forward, global warming keeps going, et cetera. And these are just being looked at. Governments are announcing different incentives. and we're tapping into those. So this is where you get points on the back. So that would be points on the back. So not only do you get revenues from putting chargers in, selling charging, selling electricity, but you can also take the tax credits on the back end. So those carbon tax credits, clean energy tax credits, and eventually in the future international carbon tax credits, etc. And those are the two main pieces, where DM EVS thinks that they can be successful, and moving forward with those. That's where we're going to do it, and we're going to continue to roll those out, across the country. And as we expand into new territories and new areas, we will be updating you guys on how that works. So, okay, so the last bit that we want to get into, that I want to make sure we cover, is what are we doing in the rest of 2023. So the first thing, we've gone through a few of these, addressing the scaling and pushing out of MediCall and Imagine Health. So that's one of the things, we're definitely working on that, and you should expect a lot more news around that on 2023. So what are we doing about balance sheets, cash flows, revenues, profits, etc. So like I said, the first piece in there is to divest. We're divesting MediCall and Imagine Health, and we think that by doing this, well, one, it's going to allow, like I said, the way we do it, investors to have parts of this and to own it. That's number one piece. But number two also is, this can be divested and ran by, medical people, and let them run it the way they want to do it. And there's huge, right now we're in Calgary, and we're in Edmonton and in Vancouver, and, we'll be expanding on that as it goes. So we're divesting that, and we're going to be pushing it out, and, creating that new business in there. So the next piece, we're working on AG Analytics GPT, and that's getting out the door. Now, what we're seeing there is a lot of interest coming in from overseas. So we're working a lot with different inquiries. A lot of these were set up at Collision. People have asked that, were we at Collision? Yes, we attended Collision. And there is a lot of interest coming in from overseas, such as from, the Middle East, the U.S., Europe. So as I said earlier, we're going to be engaged in targeted marketing around Analytics GPT, and we will be, addressing those businesses and those governments and other areas that we think the product would be most useful for, and we'll be hyper-focused on making sure that we get it to those people and get those contracts rolling in. And so the last thing that we're doing here is we're going to continue to work and on the contracts that we have already, and on the pieces that require additional rollout. So we mentioned that earlier. We will be working with our partners in the government and the partner companies that we have worked with on this project, to get the Analytics GPT in front of and to get it in front of more people, and to get those tests out there, and to get that feedback in, and to work with the government on providing Analytics GPT and other areas to the stakeholders and to all the people interested who want to get a piece of the product in there. So those are the main focuses that we're going to be pushing out. So really, to sum it up in there, we're really focused on getting Analytics GPT out the door. The second thing that we're really focused on right there is making sure that we can accurately communicate and market Analytics GPT to the correct areas. So we need to make sure that we are targeting the correct businesses, targeting the governments that we need to target, who can use this product and who can, invest with us, create contracts, etc. So that's what's coming next for Analytics GPT. So we're going to be doing that with, the videos. We're going to be doing that with marketing strategies, etc. And we're going to be focused on, right now, the markets that we've currently established are showing a lot of interest in this. In addition, there's one additional market that I mentioned that has shown a lot of interest in this over the past month or so, and that's the Middle East. And so we will be focusing right there. Now, one of the things we don't want to do, though, we're not going to, just to qualify this, this is not a Facebook campaign and stuff like that. Targeted marketing is targeted marketing. And with niche products, we think that that's the best way to go. Now, as those expand, the other thing that we're going to be doing, we mentioned finance and we mentioned, market discovery, and those two areas we have already looked into, done a lot of work in. We will be expanding more verticals there, and we're going to show those verticals off because there's a couple more in there that we're not mentioning just yet. Obviously, the military and the government is a vertical we work in. But as those verticals coalesce and we're able to show those reports, much less like we showed the reports, from the mascara and the Ukraine and stuff that we've seen already pushed out, we will show reports from those segments and how Analytics GPT can benefit those segments. All right. So in summary, with the government, today's news release, we're super happy to be where we are on that. It's excellent that we're making that much progress that quickly. And we're glad to know that this is commercializable along with our partner companies in the project and the clients. And we'll be working with them very closely to make sure that everybody that wants to get a piece of this can get a piece of this. And as those tests and stuff roll out, we will keep everybody updated on that. Analytics GPT, like I said, type marketing, rolling out the features over the next few weeks and months, showing everybody what we've got, etc. So that's the query analyzer, the insights builder, and then last but not least, the chat pieces. Okay, DMEVS continued expansion into underserviced areas of the market, in addition to the big, still keeping an eye on those big prizes. So we will be doing that. And with Medicall and Imagine Health, that we've already announced that we're looking at different ways to spin out that company. Just to reiterate, we're spinning that out with an eye towards, keeping it with the shareholders. It was built by shareholders, should be owned by shareholders, and that's where we want to go with that. So it looks like we're about at the end. So that could have gone on for a lot more, but I appreciate everybody being here. Thanks for coming. I hope that answers most of the questions that came in. We will answer more questions as we can, and then as more information is available, we'll definitely get it out to you guys. So please keep sending it in. We're looking good, and thanks for being here. Thanks everybody. Have a great day. And we're really looking forward to advancing this product and getting it out there. So good day. Talk to you guys later.